Hello everyone, thank you for joining me again and welcome to any new viewers. This is To The Point English with Ben. I'm Ben and I have a big video for you today. And not a particularly long video, but it's a big topic because I'm basically going to be telling you how to learn English. Or more specifically, I'm going to tell you the 3 characteristics that all successful English learners share, in my opinion. Now, over the last 20 years of teaching English, I've had the opportunity to teach hundreds, and I guess now you could say thousands of students. And although no 2 students are ever the same, I've observed that all good or successful students share certain things in common. Now, you could call that a mindset, an attitude, behavior, or just an approach to learning English. But I've decided to give it a different name because I've invented an acronym which I think succinctly and concisely sums up these 3 characteristics that I've identified. Now, the really long-term viewers of this channel will have noticed that this is actually a remake of an old video I made. It was in fact the 3rd video I ever made, almost 2 years ago now. And that video was not particularly good, so now I have a few more subscribers and more people are going to see this video. I wanted to remake it because I think the content was very valid and very useful. So, what is that acronym, I hear you all asking? Well, it's PIP. That's a bit of a homage to the original video, but yeah, PIP is the acronym, and each letter, the P-I-P, stands for an adjective which I believe represent a trait or a characteristic that all good, successful English learners share. So, the first P in PIP stands for proactive. All good English learners are proactive. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, a proactive English learner will look for opportunities to use their English. They will not hide from these opportunities. It's a big difference between a good English learner and a not so good English learner. So a proactive English learner will see opportunities to speak or to write or just to use their English and not shy away from those opportunities, from those situations. They will leave their comfort zone. That's how we grow. I know it's a cliche and you hear it a lot, but you must leave your comfort zone to improve in anything in life, but especially when you're learning a language, English in this case. It's uncomfortable by definition, but it really is the only way to do it. Not only have I noticed that in my students, but also in myself as a language learner. I speak and am continuing to learn Spanish, and I noticed that I need to leave my comfort zone occasionally. I would love to avoid these uncomfortable situations, but I know that's where I will improve, really, that's where I will grow. So you have to be proactive, you have to take the initiative and look for opportunities to use your English. That's the first P. What about the I? Well, I stands for inquisitive. So a good English learner will ask questions. Now, a good English learner will ask questions in class. If you're attending classes, if you're at school or maybe attending a course, you will ask your teacher questions. That's great. One of the most frustrating situations I encounter in class is when perhaps we're reading an article or a text and I ask the class, is there any vocabulary you don't understand in that text? And nobody says anything until one student puts their hand up and says, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't understand this word. And then you see all the students start listening and writing down the definitions of the word. So none of the students understood the word, but only one was brave enough and inquisitive enough to ask. And that student is usually the best student because they always know what it takes to learn English, what they need. And they show this inquisitiveness to continue learning, to ask questions. So it could be vocabulary questions, it could be grammar questions, it could be pronunciation questions, whatever. Ask your teacher. So that's a good student, but an even better student will actually come to the class with questions. So maybe they've been watching films or series or listening to podcasts or reading between classes, and they've taken notes, maybe mental notes or physical notes, and they've come to the class to ask the teacher these questions because they've been inquisitive outside of the class. They didn't just forget about English when that class ended. No, they continue to think about English and be inquisitive. So that's even better But the best English student is continuously asking themselves questions. So not literally, not out loud, they're not crazy, but so they may be watching a film, for example, and they're continuously asking themselves, why did they use that grammatical structure in this situation? What does that word mean? Why have they used that phrasal verb there? That's an interesting pronunciation. So they're continuously asking themselves questions about English. This doesn't need to be an obsession. It could be just something fun that, you're inquisitive, so you want to know more about the language in all situations. As I said, it could be watching a film, a series, reading a book, reading an article, listening to music, ask questions about the songs you're hearing, the vocabulary in the songs, or podcasts, whatever. Be inquisitive. Continuously ask yourself or your teacher questions. And the last P. What is the last P? Well, it's extremely important, and it's patient. Good English learners are patient because they will understand that this is a long process. It's a journey. I know it's another cliche that you've probably heard from many other teachers in many other YouTube videos, but the English learning process is a journey. There is no real destination. Unless you're preparing for an exam, of course, you have these little objectives of passing exams, but even so, the big objective is just to continuously improve your English in order to be able to communicate well. Now, it's easy to lose motivation during the process because sometimes you don't really see or notice improvements. And that's when you really need to be patient, because you have to understand that the learning curve, at first, it's very steep. You learn a lot in a short period of time because there is more to learn. But as your level gets higher, of course, that learning curve tapers off, and it's quite a slow progress. And some days it will go down. Some days or weeks you'll feel that your level is getting worse. I know that happens to me with my Spanish. But that's not really important, because it's the general trend that is important over months and years, that you're slowly improving and making progress. And that's when you need to be extra patient and trust the process, trust what you are doing. So really good English learners, the successful learners, understand that. They understand that it's going to take time, that they just have to relax, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, make English part of their lives, be proactive, be inquisitive, and to be patient, to be PIP. Okay, do you like my acronym? Let me know if you want to add any letters, or if you have a different acronym that sort of sums up your attitude to learning English. Okay, so thank you for joining me again, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Take care. Bye.